Hello and welcome to the channel. We have some difficult news to share today. In this video, we're taking a moment to remember and honor the lives of several individuals who have passed away this week. We'll reflect on their legacies, their contributions to the world, and offer our condolences to their families. If you'd like to join us in paying tribute, please hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Thank you for being with us during this time of remembrance.
David Gale dies, Beverly Hills 90210, in Port Charles Star. Was 58. David Gale, an actor best known for his role as Shannon Doherty's fiancé on Beverly Hills 90210, and as Dr. Joe Scanlon on the General Hospital spinoff, Port Charles, has passed away at the age of 58. The news was confirmed by his sister, Katie Colmenars, through an emotional post shared on social media, as well as through numerous reports. In her heartfelt Instagram tribute, Colmenars shared her profound grief, writing, "There's barely been a day in my life when you weren't by my side. Always my wingman, always my best friend, ready to face anything and anyone with me." She continued to describe him as a gorgeous, loving, amazing, fierce human being, and expressed her deep sense of loss, saying, "The Bears will never be the same, but I will hold you so tight every day in my heart." In a poignant closing, Colmenars wrote, "Missing you every second of every day, forever. There will never be another." David Gale's passing marks the end of an era for fans who remember his roles in some of the most iconic television shows of the 1990s and early 2000s. Despite the brief yet memorable nature of his career, Gale made a lasting impact on fans through his charming presence on screen and his beloved characters. His portrayal of Rick, Shannon Doherty's love interest on Beverly Hills 90210, brought him recognition among the show's devoted audience. While his role was not one of the series' longest running, it was significant in capturing the emotions of one of the show's most iconic characters. As Dr. Joe Scanlon on Port Charles, a role he took on after the soap opera's launch as a spin-off of the long-running General Hospital, Gale continued to capture viewers' attention with his on-screen chemistry and well-defined character arc. His time on the soap opera was part of a wave of new faces who helped refresh the genre during a time when daytime television was experiencing shifts in viewership. His memorable performances endeared him to career. Melinda Ledbetter Wilson dies. Brian Wilson's wife and manager who guided his resurgence. Was 77. Melinda Ledbetter Wilson, the devoted wife and manager of Beach Boys founder Brian Wilson, who played a key role in his personal and professional revival, passed away on Tuesday at the age of 77. Her husband shared the news in an emotional social media post. "My heart is broken," Wilson wrote. "Our 5 children and I are just in tears. We are lost. Melinda was more than my wife. She was my savior. She gave me the emotional security I needed to have a career." He added in a follow-up post, "She was my anchor. She was everything for us." Born on October 3, 1946, in Pueblo, Colorado, Ledbetter Wilson had a successful career in modeling. She met Brian Wilson in the mid-1980s while working at a car dealership, and the two began dating. However, she was troubled by the influence of Eugene Landy, the controversial psychologist whose methods and control over Wilson were widely criticized. Ledbetter Wilson reported Landy to California authorities for ethical violations, but the couple ultimately split for a time. The two reunited after a chance encounter, and they married in February 1995. By then, the state had banned Landy from having any further contact with Wilson, who had faced mental health challenges since the 1960s. Their story was depicted in the 2014 biopic Love and Mercy, which was named after the title track of Wilson's 1988 solo album. The film, starring John Cusack and Paul Dano as the older and younger Wilsons, respectively, and Elizabeth Banks as Ledbetter Wilson, received critical acclaim. It debuted at the Toronto Film Festival in 2014 and was released in theaters in June 2015. Dano earned a Golden Globe nomination for his portrayal of Wilson. In 2015, both Banks and Ledbetter Wilson participated in a panel at Deadline's The Contenders event, where Ledbetter Wilson confirmed that the film accurately depicted their relationship. Throughout their time together, Ledbetter Wilson was instrumental in helping Brian Wilson reclaim his career. After a long hiatus from releasing new music, Wilson recorded over a dozen albums between 1995 and 2021, including Brian Wilson Presents Smile in 2004, a completed version of the ambitious Smile project that Wilson had been unable to finish in the 1960s. Wilson also returned to live performances with multiple tours in the 2000s, including performances of the Beach Boys' classic Pet Sounds album in its entirety, alongside his backing group, the Wondermints. As a songwriter, producer, and performer, Wilson contributed to more than a dozen top 10 singles for the Beach Boys, including #1 hits like I Get Around, Help Me Rhonda, and the iconic Good Vibrations. In 2012, Wilson reunited with his surviving Beach Boys bandmates for a 50th anniversary album and tour, and the group performed at the Grammy Awards, where they were honored for their legacy. Ledbetter Wilson was credited as a producer on several of her husband's projects, including Brian Wilson, Long Promised Road, 2021, Pet Sounds Live at Royce Hall, 2006, and the long-form video, Brian Wilson Presents Smile, 2005. She also appeared as a guest on numerous television programs, including The View, Good Morning America, and Entertainment Tonight. In addition to her husband, Ledbetter Wilson is survived by their 5 children. Memorial details are pending. Mark Gustafson dies, Oscar-winning director of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Was 64. Mark Gustafson, the acclaimed director who co-helmed the Oscar-winning animated feature Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio in 2022, passed away on February 1st at the age of 64 following a heart attack. Guillermo del Toro shared the news on social media, remembering Gustafson as a pillar of stop-motion animation, a true artist, a compassionate, sensitive, and mordantly witty man, a legend, and a friend who inspired and gave hope to all around him. Gustafson's career in animation began in the early 1980s when he joined Will Vinton Studios, renowned for its claymation work. At Vinton's studio, he collaborated on projects like The Adventures of Mark Twain, 1985, and Return to Oz, 1985. He rose through the ranks to become the lead animator and co-writer for the TV special Meet the Raisins, 1988, which later spawned the series The California Raisin Show. Gustafson also served as the animation director for Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox in 2009. In addition to his work on Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature in 2022, Gustafson's accolades include a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Programming, 1 hour or less, for the 1992 special A Claymation Easter. He was also nominated for 3 additional Emmys. Gustafson received a BAFTA and an Annie Award for Pinocchio, and won an Annie Award in 1999 for his direction of The PJs. This reporter had the privilege of meeting Gustafson during their recording sessions for Pinocchio, as Alexandre Desplat composed the film's score. Throughout the process, from post-production in Los Angeles to Q&As on the award circuit, Gustafson's kindness and enthusiasm were always evident. He was deeply engaged in explaining the complexities of stop-motion animation and loved sharing his passion for the craft. He even brought the film's puppets along on the promotional tour, encouraging fans and colleagues alike to interact with them to better understand the meticulous work that went into the creation of the film. Gustafson was also in the midst of developing an animated series called Milepost 88 with Shadow Machine, the production company co-founded by Pinocchio. Producers Alex Bulkley and Corey Campodonico. The series was announced shortly after the Oscars. Mark Gustafson was not only an absolute legend in stop-motion animation, but also one of the greatest storytellers in cinema today, Bulkley said when the project was revealed. Guillermo del Toro shared his thoughts on Gustafson's legacy, saying, "He leaves behind a monumental legacy in animation that dates back to the very origins of claymation, shaping the careers and crafts of countless animators. He has left us with friends, colleagues, and a historic filmography. My prayers and thoughts go to his beloved wife, Jennifer." Del Toro reflected on the journey they had shared, noting, "We burned the midnight oil during post-production, did daily animation turnovers via Zoom during COVID, and were even trapped in an elevator together in London. I am as grateful to have met Mark, the person, as I was to have met him as an artist. I admired him before I knew him, and I cherished every moment we spent together, through both the highs and the lows, always and forever. Carl Weathers dies, Rocky and Predator. Star, known for Happy Gilmore and The Mandalorian, was 76. Carl Weathers, the iconic actor best known for his role as Apollo Creed in the Rocky films and for appearances in Predator, Happy Gilmore, The Mandalorian, and Arrested Development, has passed away at the age of 76. His family confirmed his death, revealing that he passed peacefully in his sleep on Thursday, February 1st, 2024. We are deeply saddened to announce the passing of Carl Weathers, the family said in a statement. Carl was an exceptional human being who lived an extraordinary life. Through his contributions to film, television, the arts, and sports, he leaves behind an indelible legacy and is recognized worldwide across generations. He was a beloved father, grandfather, brother, partner, and friend. Born on January 14, 1948 in New Orleans, Weathers enjoyed a prolific career, appearing in more than 75 films and TV shows over a span of 5 decades. His portrayal of Greef Karga, the head of the Bounty Hunters Guild in The Mandalorian, became a fan favorite across 3 seasons of the Disney Plus Star Wars series. Weathers' character developed a strong bond with Pedro Pascal's Mando, and Weathers earned an Emmy nomination in 2021 for the role. He also directed 2 episodes of the series in Season 2 and 3. In addition to his work on The Mandalorian, Weathers was involved in a new Mandalorian feature film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, announced last month by Lucasfilm, with Jon Favreau set to direct. It remains unclear whether Weathers, Pascal, or other cast members will be involved, but the film is slated to begin production later this year. Weathers' comedy chops were on full display in his memorable role on Arrested Development, where he played a humorous version of himself, acting as an eccentric and frugal acting coach. His appearances in 4 episodes of the Emmy-winning series became fan favorites. He also played Police Chief Hampton Forbes in more than 24 episodes of the 1989-95 series. In the Heat of the Night, starring Carol O'Connor and Howard Rollins. Weathers' other notable work includes voicing Combat Carl in Toy Story 4, 2019, after first portraying the character in the 2013 TV special Toy Story of Terror. His 1988 action movie, Action Jackson, earned him an NRAACP Image Award nomination, and he famously starred opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1987 classic Predator, where he played CIA operative Al Dillon. In that film, his character joins Schwarzenegger's Dutch to battle an alien predator. While Dillon's character meets a tragic end, Predator remains one of Weathers' most beloved films. However, Weathers is perhaps most iconic for his role as Apollo Creed, the heavyweight champion who challenges the underdog Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, in 1976 Rocky. He reprised the role in Rocky II, 1979, for a title rematch, Rocky 30, 1982, where he trains Balboa to face the brutal Clubber Lang, Mr. T, and Rocky Fornacion, 1985, where his character is tragically killed in the ring by Russian boxer Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren. Weathers also had a memorable turn as Chubbs Peterson in Happy Gilmore, 1996, where he played the golf coach who loses his hand to an alligator and helps Adam Sandler's character. Weathers' injury during a stunt on set led to years of chronic pain. In a 2020 interview with GQ, he revealed that he fractured 2 vertebrae and endured significant discomfort for years as a result. Before his acting career, Weathers played linebacker at San Diego State University, where he even gave the 1987 commencement address. After going undrafted, he signed with the Oakland Raiders, playing 8 games for the team during the 1970-71 season. He then moved to the Canadian Football League, playing for the BC Lions from 1971 to 1973. Weathers' acting career began in the early 1970s, with guest roles on TV shows such as Good Times, Kung Fu, SW8, and The $6 Million Man. Throughout the 1970s, he appeared in a range of hit shows like Starsky and Hutch, Barnaby Jones, and Switch. He also landed film roles in Bucktown and Friday Foster, 1975, followed by parts in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977, Semi-Tough, 1977, Force 10 from Navarone, 1978, Death Hunt, 1981, and Hurricane Smith, 1992. Carl Weathers leaves behind a rich legacy of unforgettable roles and an indelible mark on both film and television. He is survived by his family, who shared their heartfelt tributes, remembering him not only for his remarkable career, but for the kindness and generosity he showed to those around him. Don Murray dies, Bus Stop, Knots Landing. Star was 94. Don Murray, the actor best known for his role opposite Marilyn Monroe in the 1956 film Bus Stop, has passed away at the age of 94. His death was confirmed by his son Christopher in a statement to the New York Times, although no further details have been provided. Murray gained early fame for his Oscar-nominated performance in Bus Stop, where he portrayed Beauregard Bo Decker, a cowboy who falls in love with Monroe's character, Cherie, a saloon singer. His portrayal of the naive but earnest cowboy earned him critical acclaim and set the stage for a long and varied acting career that spanned 6 decades. Before achieving success in Hollywood, Murray was a conscientious objector during the Korean War. Instead of engaging in combat, he served in refugee camps in Germany and Italy, an experience that shaped both his worldview and his later career choices. Known for taking on roles in socially conscious films, Murray became a prominent figure in what were once referred to as message movies, films that dealt with important social issues. In 1957, he starred in A Hatful of Rain, a film directed by Fred Zinnemann, in which Murray portrayed a morphine-addicted war veteran. This film marked the beginning of his strong association with roles that tackled heavy, often controversial themes. In 1962, Murray starred as a closeted gay senator in Otto Preminger's Advise and Consent, a film dealing with politics, secrecy, and scandal. His portrayal of a man blackmailed over his sexuality was groundbreaking at the time. Murray's career continued to thrive in the 1960s and 1970s. In 1965, he co-starred alongside Steve McQueen in the film Baby the Rain Must Fall, and in 1972, he appeared in Conquest of the Planet of the Apes as a governor bent on exterminating 2 apes stranded on Earth. In 1986, he played the father of Kathleen Turner's title character in Peggy Sue Got Married, further demonstrating his versatility across genres. While Murray's film work was extensive, he also had a successful television career. One of his most notable roles came in the late 1970s when he starred in the popular soap opera Knots Landing, 1979 to 1981. This role was one of the highlights of his television career, but it was just one part of his broader television work, which included several guest appearances and co-starring roles in a variety of series. Murray's early career in television also included a starring role in the short-lived 1968 to 69 Western series, The Outcasts. The show was notable for pairing Murray, a white actor, with Otis Young, a black actor, in a unique partnership. Their characters, who had fought on opposite sides during the Civil War, became bounty hunters together, an unusual and progressive pairing for the time. Born on July 31, 1929 in Hollywood, California, Murray's early years were shaped by the entertainment industry, and he soon found himself drawn to the world of theater. His Broadway debut came in 1951 when he appeared in Tennessee Williams' The Rose Tattoo. His performance in this play caught the attention of director Joshua Logan, who would later cast him in Bus Stop. Murray would return to Broadway several times over the next 2 decades, including a performance in 1955's The Skin of Our Teeth, and later roles in Same Time, Next Year, and the Norman Conquest trilogy in 1975. In 1970, Murray expanded his talents into the realm of directing and co-wrote the script for The Cross and the Switchblade, a drama starring Pat Boone. The film tells the story of a minister who tries to bring religion to the gangs of Chicago. This marked another significant step in Murray's diverse career, which often saw him take on roles that challenged conventional norms and pushed the boundaries of both film and television. Murray's personal life also made headlines throughout his career. He was first married to actress Hope Lange, who had appeared alongside him and Marilyn Monroe in Bus Stop. The couple divorced, and Murray later married actress Elizabeth Johnson. Throughout his life, Murray was known for his dedication to his craft and his commitment to portraying characters with depth and complexity, often tackling roles that dealt with serious, sometimes uncomfortable topics. In his later years, Murray appeared in various projects, including a notable guest appearance in the 2017 revival of Twin Peaks: The Return, which marked a reunion with director David Lynch. Despite being in his late 80s at the time, Murray's appearance in the cult TV series was a reminder of his enduring talent and versatility as an actor. Over the span of his long career, Don Murray became known for his ability to inhabit a wide range of characters, from the innocent and love-struck cowboy in Bus Stop to the troubled war veterans, closeted politicians, and morally complex figures he portrayed in many of his films and TV appearances. Frank Farian dies. Founder of Milli Vanilli and Boney M. was 82. Vanilli and the disco group Boney M has passed away at the age of 82. His family confirmed his death in a statement, revealing that he died peacefully at his home in Miami. Farian's influence on the music world is immense, having shaped the sound of some of the most memorable acts of the late 20th century. His most notable creation, Milli Vanilli, made waves in the late 1980s and early 1990s with hits like Blame It on the Rain and Girl, You Know It's True. Despite the duo's meteoric rise, their success was marred by the infamous lip-syncing scandal, which led to the revocation of their 1990 Grammy Award for Best New Artist and resulted in numerous lawsuits. Farian eventually admitted his role in the controversy, revealing that the group had not actually sung the vocals on their records, but had instead lip-synced to tracks sung by other vocalists. Born in Germany on July 18, 1941, Frank Farian initially embarked on his musical journey as a singer. He formed a band called Frankie Boys Shatten before transitioning to a solo career. In 1976, his vision and musical expertise led him to form the groundbreaking disco group Boney M, which would go on to achieve major success, especially in Europe. With Farian as the mastermind behind the group, Boney M released some of the biggest disco anthems of the era, including Me Wa Know Daddy Cool, Rivers of Babylon, and Rasputin. The group's infectious rhythms and catchy melodies captivated audiences around the world, making them a household name. Farian's work wasn't limited to just Boney M or Milli Vanilli. He was also involved in collaborations with other major artists, including rock icon Meat Loaf and legendary soul musician Stevie Wonder, further solidifying his reputation as one of the music industry's most influential producers. In 2022, Farian made headlines when he revealed to a German newspaper that he had undergone life-saving heart valve replacement surgery. The surgery, he explained, had been a crucial procedure to save his life, and it marked a significant health challenge for the music producer. However, despite his health issues, Farian continued to reflect on his remarkable career and the legacy he had built in the music world. Throughout his life, Frank Farian was known for his ability to craft hit songs and create musical acts that resonated with audiences. His contributions to the world of pop and disco, along with his pioneering work in production, have left an indelible mark on the music industry. While his legacy will forever be intertwined with the Milli Vanilli scandal, there's no denying his impact on the music scene, having helped shape the sound of an entire era. Farian is survived by his family, and his passing marks the end of an era for many music fans who grew up listening to the groundbreaking sounds he created. His influence, though controversial at times, will continue to be felt in the world of pop and disco music for years to come. Greg Finley dies. Renowned voice actor from Robotech and Men in Black 2, passes away at 76. Greg Finley, a versatile voiceover artist known for his work on Robotech and Men in Black 2, has passed away at the age of 76. He died peacefully on February 1st from heart-related complications while vacationing at a family member's home in Phoenix, Arizona. His death was confirmed by his son, Guy Finley. Finley, who was occasionally credited as Guy Garrett, had a prolific career in voice acting that spanned several decades. His journey in show business began with small on-screen roles, including appearances in Kolchak, The Night Stalker, 1975, and Flo and the Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo, 1981. His transition into voiceover work began when fellow Beverly Hills High School alum Paul Rabwin, a producer on Chips, invited him to provide automated dialogue replacement ADR for the series. This led to a long career in voiceover, with Finley contributing to notable projects such as Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and, in 1985, helping launch the Robotech anime franchise as a writer, director, and voice actor. One of his most iconic roles was voicing the infamous villain, the cigarette-smoking man, on The X-Files. He also lent his voice to various alien characters in Men in Black 2, 2002. Finley continued working into the 21st century, providing voice work for projects like Hannah Montana, the movie, Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian, and Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby. Much of his work over the years was as part of Barbara Harris's voice casting company, The Looping Group. Finley retired from full-time voice acting in 2018, though he occasionally contributed to projects including The Loud House Movie, 2021, and The King Who Never Was, 2023, which was released on Netflix. Born on May 8, 1947, into a showbiz family in Los Angeles, Finley was the son of Larry Finley, a trailblazing TV and radio personality, and the cousin of the Twilight Zone creator Rod Serling. After graduating high school in 1965, Finley served in the Vietnam War before returning to civilian life as a car salesman. He eventually shifted gears and pursued a career in acting. Beyond his professional work, Finley was active in his local community. He served as a board member and president of the Canyon Theater Guild in Santa Clarita, California, where he and his wife, Patricia, produced, directed, and acted in hundreds of community theater productions. The couple was honored with statues in the foyer of the Canyon Theater in Newhall, California. In 2015, they moved to Boise, Idaho, to be closer to their family. Finley is survived by his wife, Patricia, 6 children, 3 brothers, 9 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. Memorial services will be held in Boise and Los Angeles in the spring. Wayne Kramer, the co-founder and guitarist-vocalist of the legendary Detroit punk band MC5, has passed away at 75. The news was confirmed today through official posts on Kramer's and MC5's social media channels, though the cause of death has not been disclosed. Born Wayne Cambies on April 30, 1948, Kramer helped form MC5, short for Motor City 5, in his teenage years alongside his friend Fred Sonic Smith. The band began by performing locally and eventually became the house band at Detroit's iconic Grande Ballroom. John Sinclair, a left-wing activist, took on the role of the band's manager, and MC5 soon became entwined with the political movements of the late 60s, aligning with the White Panther Party, a group co-founded by Sinclair to combat racism. The band's sound was raw and rebellious, often difficult to categorize, but it became a significant influence on the punk rock movement. The group performed at protests, including those outside the 1968 Democratic National Convention, before signing with Elektra and recording their 1969 debut, Kick Out the Jams, which was recorded live at the Grand Ballroom. Featuring the fiery title track, the album became a cornerstone of punk rock with its iconic opening expletive-laden battle cry. MC5 toured with major acts like Cream and Big Brother and The Holding Company, fronted by Janis Joplin, and mentored fellow Detroit artists Iggy and the Stooges, helping them sign to Elektra based on Kramer's recommendation. Despite the success of Kick Out the Jams, MC5's relationship with Elektra soured after a dispute with Detroit department store Hudson's, which refused to stock the album. The band was dropped by the label, but went on to sign with Atlantic, releasing 2 more albums, Back in the USA, 1970, and High Time, 1971. The band's journey ended with a farewell performance at the Grande Ballroom on December 31, 1972. Kramer attempted to revitalize the band with a new lineup in 1975, taking on the role of lead singer. However, his career took a detour that year when he was arrested for selling drugs to undercover officers and sentenced to 4 years in prison. After his release in 1979, Kramer joined the band Was, Not Was, and briefly formed a group called Gang War with Johnny Thunders. In 1994, Kramer signed to Epitaph as a solo artist, debuting with The Hard Stuff in 1995 and releasing 3 more solo albums through the label in the 90s. He also appeared on Bad Religion's 1994 album, Stranger Than Fiction. Over the years, Kramer reunited with surviving members of MC5 for tours with bands like Rage Against the Machine. In 2018, Kramer published his memoir, The Hard Stuff. At the time of his death, he was preparing for a world tour with the latest version of MC5 and had recorded new music for the project. The album, Heavy Lifting, features guest appearances from Slash, Tom Morello, Vernon Reid, William Duvall, and Dennis Machine Gun Thompson, the band's original drummer and its last surviving founding member, on 2 tracks. Kramer is survived by his wife, Margaret, and their son. No memorial arrangements have been announced at this time.